Chapter 105. Evil God, are you fooling me? This was the first time Sanshi had met such a ruthless person. It was fine if he was not allowed to speak, but he could not even attack with his eyes. Tsk. Little fellow, you are really shameless. It's just that your mouth is too foul. Otherwise, I wouldn't be willing to sacrifice your body to the evil god. The girl's paper effigy looked at Sanshi with a smile. It was unknown if she was smiling because it was the expression on the effigy, or if she was really smiling at that moment. Even if Sanshi could not see it, he felt that this woman was a little perverse. At this moment, a figure in a red cloak walked out from beside the paper effigy, and the girl paper effigy disappeared. This figure also looked very petite. Her exposed crimson lips were like spider lilies from hell, carrying an evil redness. Her fair chin outlined a smile as she slowly walked to Sanshi's side. There's another fun toe. Her voice sounded nicer, but it also sent chills down one's spine. She walked to Sanshi's side and placed her slender fingers on Sanshi's arm. So sturdy. Crack, Sanshi's arm was broken. Ah! The pain made him scream. He was extremely shocked. Even if he did not actively activate his Diamond Dharma body, his body was still extremely hard. How could this woman break his arm with only a paper effigy? He secretly released his spiritual sense detection and discovered that the paper effigy had actually turned into a real person. Is this an illusion, or did her main body really come out just to torture me? Sanshi secretly investigated. The woman was wearing a red cloak. She was not tall and her eyes were huge. Her eyelashes were long and blood red. However, her face was as pale as a piece of cold jade. Her appearance was that of a young girl and she actually looked very beautiful. It's not an old witch. No, it must be a technique to retain one's youth. She's still old, so she's an old witch. Sanshi thought to himself. Her. I thought you weren't in pain. Continue screaming. I like it. Crack. Sanshi's other arm was also broken, followed by his ribs. Amidst the cracking sounds, Sanshi's bones were broken by this woman one by one. It was so painful that he kept screaming. Qiuyuan Sanshi's incantations became more and more hurried, and the sound of Sanshi's screams rose and fell. Together, it sounded like a demonic sound rising and falling. The mucus on the ground turned into a ball of cold mist and mixed with the black airflow, turning into a black whirlwind. Wild shrieks and howls could be heard from within the whirlwind, as if the gates to the netherworld were being opened. At this moment, the black array formation pattern seemed to come alive and turned into black tentacles that twisted and stabbed into the sacrificial offerings in the array formation. Then, the bodies of the human sacrifices began to wither. Their flesh, blood, and souls were extracted and gathered in the center of the array formation. On Sanshi's side, the black tentacles did not attack as smoothly. It took more time to pierce through Sanshi's skin and devour his flesh. Sanshi felt as if many things had drilled into his body and were crazily absorbing something. Thick skin. Han Luo stretched out a finger and swiped it across Sanshi's chest, causing flames to appear. However, she still left a bloody wound on Sanshi's chest. Blood flowed out and flowed towards the center of the black whirlwind through the array formation. The original black array formation began to turn red because of the blood sacrifices. Doo-hoo. The commotion in the array formation became louder and louder, and waves of ghostly wind swept up. Many white shadows gathered in the darkness, emitting all kinds of strange laughter, as if they were celebrating. Which demon dares to cause trouble in the city? With a loud shout, the light in the distance shone brightly. It was as if a righteous aura rose from the ground, dyeing the sky white. The girl's paper effigy pinched Sanshi's thigh and suddenly looked up with a strange smile. I've been waiting for you to come out. The next second, the white light in the distance suddenly dimmed a little. Densely packed paper effigies rushed out and let out all kinds of strange laughter. Red paper Rakshasa, how dare you attack the government office of Great Jin? The dignified voice scolded. Watch me burn your paper effigies. Her, old man, you don't have the strength. What you burn is not even the amount I cut for fun. The girl's voice echoed in the air, as if she was not afraid of the other party at all. When Han Luo and the powerhouses of Great Jin attacked, Qiuyuan Green Snake's faces turned pale. It was obvious that this array formation consumed a lot of energy. Do you think I don't know that you're peaking with your divine sense? Han Luo, who was beside Sanshi, did not leave. Instead, she used paper effigies to fight the experts in Silken City. From time to time, houses would collapse in the distance, as if a monster was wreaking havoc in the city. As for Honglwo's true body, it was still exerting strength with both hands to torture Songshi. With a crack, it broke Songshi's remaining thigh. His calf quickly followed suit. But what made his scalp tingle was that this woman actually attacked his third leg. The scream became much louder, tinged with fear. Is this woman a pervert? Songshi cursed in his heart. He was living a life worse than death. This was the first time he was so eager to die so he could be free. However, his strength had been sealed, hence he could not sever his own meridians. Qiu Yuan the green snake looked straight ahead and slapped the ground at the same time. The aura of the array formation surged again and completely turned into a huge black vortex. The void twisted and something seemed to be coming out of the vortex. Honglwo crushed the 206 bones in Songshi's body and looked at Songshi, who had turned into meat paste. Only then did she clap her hands in satisfaction. How fun! I love a tough nut to crack, especially one tough cookie like you. At this moment, Songshi was still alive. This woman had broken all his bones without injuring his internal organs. How superb was her technique! At this moment, he was very eager for the array formation to sacrifice him quickly. He could not give this woman another chance to torture him. Welcome, evil god. At this moment, Jiyu suddenly spoke. He directly knelt on the ground and kowtowed towards the black vortex. Her. A strange laugh appeared from the vortex. Then, with a rumbling sound, the world shook. Black gas surged, and cracks appeared on the ground. Honglwo let go of Songshi and looked at the thing in the center of the vortex with fear. It appeared outside the array formation like a ghost. The moment she left, a pillar of extreme yin and evil energy rushed out of the vortex and into the clouds. Then, a huge figure slowly appeared. Evil god, even your projection is so powerful. I wonder when I can reach the realm of immortals. Honglwo looked at the shadow that slowly appeared in the darkness. This figure was 1,000 feet tall, just like a giant standing between heaven and earth. Its eyes were like purple torches, and it had a green face and fangs. It had bull horns and its entire body was filled with an evil aura. After coming out, it opened its mouth and sucked. The blood gathered by the sacrifices immediately flew into his bloody mouth and swallowed it. After tasting it, the evil god revealed its scarlet tongue and looked down at the sacrifices before opening its mouth again. Many sacrifices with withered flesh and blood were immediately swept up by a ghost wind. Songshi was among them. Soon, a devouring power enveloped him. It did not last long before he turned into blood and was swallowed. Seeing that the evil god had eaten the sacrifice, Jiyu lowered his head and said respectfully, "Evil god, please help us force out the dragon vein chi here." The dragon vein chi was born from heaven and earth. Other than great cultivators who could attract the heaven and earth origin chi, with their strength, they could only rely on the projection of the evil god. Qiu and the others did not notice that when the evil god smacked his lips twice, his purple eyes revealed dissatisfaction. Upon hearing this human's request, he snorted and blew out two gusts of wind, blowing Jiu back more than 10 feet. He said with a buzz, "The number and total number of sacrifices are wrong. Are you playing with him?" His eyes turned cold. The offerings were clearly not enough, but he still wanted him to do something. Was he lying to him like he was a child? Or was he dismissing him like a beggar?